Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Reserve Bank keeps repo rate unchanged at 5.15%. Revises GDP growth forecast to 5% for 2019-20. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says slashing corporate tax is an effective reform to attract more investments. Over 66% polling recorded for 15 Karnataka Assembly by-elections. Campaigning for second phase of Jharkhand Assembly election ended this evening. Elaborate security arrangements in place for voting on Saturday. Rajya Sabha condemns setting on fire Unnao rape survivor in Uttar Pradesh, calls for stringent action against culprits. U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi orders drafting of impeachment articles against President Trump. And in South Asian Games, India continues its winning streak, bags 118 medals, including 58 gold. The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, in its fifth bi-monthly monetary policy, has kept the policy repo rate unchanged at 5.15%. The six-member Monetary Policy Committee, headed by Governor Shaktikanta Das, voted unanimously for a status quo policy. The reverse credit policy has also maintained the reverse repo rate at 4.9% and the marginal standing facility rate and bank rate at 5.4%. Real GDP growth for 2019-20 has been revised downwards from 6.1% to 5%. Interacting with media, RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das said the decisions are in consonance with the objective of achieving the medium-term target for consumer price index inflation of 4% while supporting growth.
It is also likely that the government may initiate some more counter-cyclical fiscal and other measures to arrest the slowdown. The forthcoming union budget will provide greater clarity on all these aspects. At this critical juncture, it is of paramount importance that monetary policy and fiscal policy continue to work in coordination to achieve the best results in the national endeavor to revive growth.
Meanwhile, the equity benchmarks today closed lower in volatile trade after the Reserve Bank left interest rates unchanged. However, the rupee appreciated 24 paise to 71 rupees and 29 paise against the US dollar. Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange settled 71 points down at 40,780. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange also slipped 25 points to close at 12,018. The Rajya Sabha has returned the Taxation Laws Amendment Bill 2019 after approving it as passed by the Lok Sabha. Replying to the discussion in the upper house, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said slashing the corporate tax remains an effective reform measure to attract more investments. She said the amendments in the taxation laws as envisaged in the bill have more provisions and clarifications than the ordinance that was promulgated earlier. The minister rebutted allegations that the amendments are aimed at helping big corporates and said the corporate tax rebates as provided for are applicable to all the companies registered under the Companies Act, including the MSMEs. Ms. Sitharaman clarified that the new tax rebate is extended to only new companies so as to attract fresh investments to the country. In Karnataka, the polling for by-election to 15 assembly segments has been completed peacefully. However, a few cases of EVM malfunction and voters not finding their names in the electoral rolls were reported during the voting process. As per the latest figures on the voters' turnout, an average of over 66.25% was reported in all the 15 constituencies. Chikaballapur Assembly segment recorded the highest of 79.8 poll percentage, and Shivajinagar in Bengaluru recorded the lowest of 41.13%. Counting of votes will be taken up on the 9th of December. More from our correspondent.
The fortune of 165 candidates is locked inside EVMs kept in 4,185 polling booths. The EVMs and VVPATs are moved to strong rooms near 11 counting centers. During the election today, BJP has filed a complaint with State Electoral Office against Jewargi Congress MLA Ajay Singh for influencing voters in Shivajinagar today. Congress has also filed another complaint against Yellapur, KR-Pura and Yashwantpur BJP candidates for their supporters allegedly distributing cash among the voters. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
In Jharkhand, campaigning for the second phase of assembly elections ended this evening. 20 assembly constituencies spread over 7 districts will go to the polls in this phase on Saturday. 260 candidates, including 29 women, are in the fray in this phase. Chief Electoral Officer of Jharkhand, Vinay Kumar Chaubey, has said that elaborate security arrangements are being made as these areas are extremist infested.
ये चरण भी हम लोग के लिए एक चैलेंजिंग चरण है क्योंकि इसमें भी लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म के काफी अफेक्टेड जिले हैं जैसे कि चाईबासा, खूंटी, सरायकेला, इवन रांची का भी जो पार्ट हो रहा है तमाड़, तो ये सभी लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिस्ट से काफी अफेक्टेड है। तो इसके लिए हम लोगों ने व्यापक सुरक्षा के इंतजाम किए हैं और सभी मतदान केंद्रों पर पर्याप्त संख्या में केंद्रीय सुरक्षा बल अथवा जिला बल उपलब्ध रहेंगे। 155 मतदान केंद्रों के अपने जो मतदान कर्मी हैं उनको हम लोग हेलीकॉप्टर के माध्यम से उनके मतदान केंद्रों तक पहुंचा रहे हैं, जिसमें से 125 तो चाईबासा में ही है और शेष जो है वो सरायकेला और खूंटी जिला में है।
Chief Minister Raghubar Das, State Cabinet Minister Neelkant Singh Munda, State BJP Chief Lakshman Gilua, Rebel BJP leader Saryu Roy, JDU State President Salkhan Murmu and National Spokesperson of Congress Gaurav Vallabh are prominent candidates in this phase. Our correspondent takes a look at the election scenario.
Commitment towards protection of rights of tribal people over water, forest and land, issues of reservation and employment remain dominated during this phase in election campaign of all political parties. Senior leaders of BJP prominently raised the issue of development, national citizenship register, Ram Janmabhoomi Ayodhya case, Article 370, triple talaq during their poll campaign. On the other hand, issues of tribal rights, education and employment, reservation in private sector reflected in election rallies of Congress and other regional parties. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Ranchi.
The Rajya Sabha has condemned the incident of setting on fire the rape survivor in Unnao, Uttar Pradesh, and called for stringent action against the culprits. In the post-lunch session, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu said he has spoken to the Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh to get details of the incident. He said there is need to send out a signal that such heinous crimes against women will not be accepted and there should be swift action against the perpetrators.
The entire House condemns the incident. Needed is not mere arrest in one case. As everybody said, we must send out a signal to the entire country, to the society, that in such incidents, the action should be taken promptly, swiftly, adequately, so that the things cannot be repeated once again. And also appeal to the society to isolate such people and stand by the victims.
The rape survivor has been airlifted to Delhi for better treatment. All 5 persons accused of setting ablaze the rape victim have been arrested. The incident took place in Bihar area of the district this morning when the accused, out on bail, attempted to burn the woman by dousing her with kerosene in the fields outside the village. The victim had filed a complaint of rape in March this year. Briefing media in Lucknow, IG Law Parveen Kumar said strict action will be ensured through fast-track investigation and prosecution.
5 व्यक्तियों का नाम बताया गया था। उन 5 व्यक्तियों की तत्परता से पुलिस के द्वारा गिरफ्तारी की गई है और इस प्रकरण में जो भी वैज्ञानिक परिस्थितिजन्य साक्ष्य हैं उनको संकलन किया जा रहा है।
The Union Government today said a total 31,696 megawatts of grid-connected solar power has been set up by the end of October this year in the country. A target of 8,000 megawatt solar power capacity has been set for 2019-20. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, New and Renewable Energy Minister R.K. Singh said the central government had set a target for deploying 20,000 megawatt of grid-connected solar power by 2022, which was later revised to 1 lakh megawatts in 2015. Union Minister for Law and Justice Ravi Shankar Prasad today said over 16 lakh cases are pending in the High Courts, while around 66 lakh cases are pending for 5 years or more in the district and subordinate courts in the country. In a written reply in the Rajya Sabha, Mr. Prasad said over 4,19,000 cases are pending in the Allahabad High Court, which is the highest among the High Courts. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. In the United States House of Representatives, Speaker Nancy Pelosi today announced that the House is drafting articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. In her announcement, Ms. Pelosi said the President has engaged in abuse of power, undermining our national security and jeopardizing the integrity of our elections. She said our democracy is what is at stake. She said the President has left them with no choice but to act. Democrats are charging to order a Christmas-time vote on removing the 45th president, a situation Ms. Pelosi hoped to avoid, but which now seems inevitable. President Trump is alleged to have abused the power of his office by putting personal political gain over national security interests. The BJP has criticized former Prime Minister and Congress leader Dr. Manmohan Singh for his remarks on the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. Speaking at an event to mark the 100th birth anniversary of former Prime Minister I.K. Gujral, Dr. Singh had said the 1984 anti-Sikh riots could have been avoided if the then Home Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao had heeded the suggestion of Mr. Gujral of calling in the army. Union Minister and senior BJP leader Prakash Javadekar, while talking to reporters in New Delhi today, questioned that if Narasimha Rao was not an efficient Home Minister, why did Dr. Singh choose to become the finance minister in his government in 1991? Senior BJP leader and Union Minister Prakash Javadekar today accused Congress leader P. Chidambaram of violating the Supreme Court's direction by making comments on the ongoing corruption case against him. Briefing reporters outside Parliament, Mr. Javadekar hit out at the Congress leader for criticizing the government over the economic situation, saying during the UPA rule, inflation was high and growth rate was low.
भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप में उन पर पिछले 105 दिन केस के चलते जेल में रहना पड़ा। बेल देते समय कोर्ट ने कहा था कि आप केस पर कोई पब्लिक स्टेटमेंट नहीं देंगे, लेकिन चिदम्बरम जी ने आज स्टेटमेंट दिया कि माय रिकॉर्ड एज मिनिस्टर इज वेरी क्लियर। यही तो आरोप है कि मंत्री पद का कर्तव्य निभाते हुए आपने भ्रष्टाचार किया, यही तो केस है।
Earlier briefing media in New Delhi, Mr. Chidambaram expressed concern over the slowdown in the country's economy. A special court in Mumbai today declared Nirav Modi a fugitive economic offender. The key accused in the Punjab National Bank fraud case was declared fugitive on a plea of the Enforcement Directorate. Nirav Modi and his uncle Mehul Choksi are the prime accused in the PNB fraud case related to alleged fraudulent issuance of letters of undertaking that caused a loss of over $2 billion to the public sector bank. The 15th Finance Commission has submitted its report for 2020-21 to President Ramnath Kovind. Chairman of the Commission, N.K. Singh, members Ajay Narayan Jha, Ashok Lahiri, Ramesh Chand, Anup Singh and Secretary Arvind Mehta today called on the President and submitted the report for further necessary action. Indian athletes excelled at the 13th South Asian Games in Nepal and grabbed 48 medals comprising 24 gold, 18 silver and 6 bronze today. Indian women displayed their power and clinched 16 gold, 6 silver and 2 bronze for the country. On the 5th day of the Games, India further consolidated its top position in the medal tally with a total of 118 medals comprising 58 gold, 41 silver and 19 bronze. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Reserve Bank keeps Repo rate unchanged at 5.15%, revises GDP growth forecast to 5% for 2019-20. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says slashing corporate tax is an effective reform to attract more investments. Over 66% polling recorded for 15 Karnataka Assembly by-elections. Campaigning for second phase of Jharkhand Assembly election ended this evening. Rajya Sabha condemns setting on fire Unnao rape survivor in Uttar Pradesh, calls for stringent action against culprits. U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi orders drafting of impeachment articles against President Trump. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.